Dear colleagues, this is a cataract that I do subconjunctival anesthesia. Using two grease Haber forceps, I do a double-handed capsular Rhexis. Pretty much using the two grease Haber forceps, I use the technique handshake technique to initiate and then continue and finish the capsular Rhexis using two grease Haber forceps from both paracenteses. One is holding the nucleus and the other one is impelling the anterior capsule. And then the capsular Rhexis it's initiated with one forceps, and then the flap is transferred to the second forceps, continue it, and then switch between the two until the capsular Rhexis is done. You use less time in the eye by using both hands during the capsular Rhexis, and in this case I'm trying to split the nucleus using sliding technique. This is a leathery cataract, so I make a small pit so I can bury the phaco tip deeply inside the middle of the nucleus, and then using the chopper I do the horizontal chop, splitting the nucleus into two heminucleuses, and then instead of just lateral separation of the two, having the X maneuver here also, I'm trying to push with the phaco tip in one heminucleus and then drag, pull back see here, one is pushed forward and the other one is dragged back, and in this way this sliding technique will facilitate cracking the last plate, the posterior plate of the cataract all the way through. So we have couple of ways to split those leathery cataracts. One is lateral separation of the heminucleuses, the other one is X move crossing the instruments, and the other one, the third method is to just translate the heminucleus. One is sliding backwards and the other one is push forward. So using the chopper to drag one backwards and pushing with the phaco tip into the other heminucleus, we can achieve total separation of the posterior plate on these leathery cataracts. And then after this splitting of the nucleus, the phacoemulsification is pretty much getting to the routine level, emulsifying the quadrants, small bits and pieces, taking your time and not rush to push the phaco pedal all the way down, slowly aspirating and keep on chopping smaller and smaller pieces of these leathery cataracts. You will end up the next day with a clear cornea, keeping the phacoemulsification as low as possible in the bag or at the iris plane, and just keep on splitting the quadrants into smaller and smaller bits and pieces will ensure smooth phacoemulsification. It's only using lower levels of ultrasound to emulsifying, since you have chopped that quadrant into smaller pieces. Is just using most of the time the aspiration and very low ultrasound level. You can stop and inject some more viscoelastic if you think is necessary, but usually the chopping maneuvers are more important than viscoelastic. Having a lot of chopping done and having the pieces that are emulsified get to the smaller and smaller sizes, it's making the phacoemulsification very easy and smooth. At the last piece, keep your chopper underneath the phaco needle level. Will ensure that the posterior capsule is held back and protected, and in this way you're not in danger of aspirating that with the phaco needle. That's the end of the phacoemulsification, and then cleaning up the bag and taking out the last remnants of the cortex and injecting the IOL into the bag. This is a hydrophobic IOL. The leading haptic went inside the bag, and the trailing haptic is unfolding on top of the iris, but we're using the chopper. It's very easy to rotate and push the IOL inside the bag, the trailing haptic inside the bag also. Cleaning up the anterior chamber of any viscoelastic, injecting some myocol and an air bubble at the end, and that's the end of the case. Thank you for